Smithville Community in Action is a coalition of volunteers committed to changing the culture about youth substance misuse. Entering its 20th year serving in the community to keep youth in Smithville safe, the coalition is in its 4th year of funding from the federal Drug-Free Communities Grant Program. This year, the coalition met the community where they were at and provided support for many community events, from the haunted campground at Smith's Fork Park to the back-to-school nights. The Senior Trading Card Program is a group of young adults striving towards making hard decisions to be drug, alcohol, and tobacco-free. They hope to provide a safe environment by being considerate, responsible, and humble to the people in our community. They are a diverse group of students who make posters, flyers, write segments for the daily announcements, write for the high school newsletter, and make videos for the school's closed media network. The students have a monthly drug focus for their efforts and cover vaping, drugged or drunk driving, marijuana, and prescription drugs, among other topics. The trading card program also allows elementary school students to turn in tribe tickets to have lunch with one of these awesome senior mentors. The coalition did a lot this year to positively recognize these outstanding seniors, including highlighting their accomplishments in their athletics or activities. The coalition also did an extensive social media campaign featuring each trading card student 3 times before they graduated. Each year, we have a composite of the seniors made to hang in the high school. We also take out a full-page ad in the senior edition of the paper. This year, we added a cookies and cake reception and invited over 200 elementary students to come meet these seniors before their scholarship banquet. Also new this year, we awarded 3 scholarships that recognize seniors who throughout their high school career have made a personal commitment to stay free from marijuana, alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. These seniors were able to demonstrate that they exercised a positive peer influence on others. In addition to the local youth coalition, Smithville students also have the opportunity to join a regional youth coalition called Youth with Vision, with other youth across the Northland. This year, one of our Smithville seniors served on Youth with Vision's leadership team, doing public relations and social media. She went to the Capitol in Jefferson City to visit with elected congressmen about the harms of youth drug use. Providing this kind of education is also a key part of what the coalition does. Through major media campaigns, including radio PSAs, YouTube ads, billboard, mailers, and banners, the Smithville Coalition provided several prevention messages for underage drinking and youth marijuana use prevention. New this year, the coalition also started featuring Smithville residents on these billboards and banners. This helps the community take note of these messages and gets the community involved as valuable partners in sharing this information. In addition to these major media campaigns, we also provided information to the community in the display area of the local library. Training our coalition members is another major part of what we do. We provided in-services at our coalition meetings that taught our members more about the middle school's implementation of How Full Is Your Cup, the value of prevention, and how much money it saves the community, the school district's vaping incident report, All-Stars curriculum, Hope Squad, the work of Missouri Poison Control, and the dramatic increase in accidental marijuana edible ingestion by children under 5 since 2018, the Roots of Resilience Action Guide, the value of sitting down and having a meaningful meal with youth, the Amendment 3 ballot initiative that could potentially legalize marijuana in Missouri. In addition to these in-services, the coalition sends coalition members to the Missouri Prevention Conference, the HIDA Prevention Conference, the Northland Prevention Conference, and to the nation's premier prevention training of CADCA Coalition Academy, CADCA Forum, and CADCA Midyear. This year, the Coalition graduated from Coalition Academy and received recognition at CADCA Forum. This year, we also sent youth to the leadership training for the first time. This will provide valuable training for a student-led expansion of the Youth Coalition to include more than just seniors. Educating kids how to say no to drugs is an important part of the All-Stars curriculum that the Coalition supports the school district in teaching. This year was the first year it was taught to students in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. To reinforce the positive coping skills taught in All-Stars, the Coalition coordinates a class gift to each student who participates. This year we purchased sunglasses so they could focus on their ideal futures without the hurdles of risky behaviors like drug use. We also brought an inflatable mega-lung to Horizon Elementary and gave 6th graders from each elementary school the opportunity to learn about the harms of vaping. One side of the lung shows the kids what a healthy lung looks like, while the other shows the inflammation and damage caused by vaping nicotine and marijuana. The middle school implemented a program called How Full Is Your Cup?, which was initially developed by students for students. It is a program designed to illustrate what kinds of stressors and other things can fill our cup and not let other things in. Then they reverse that and talk about protective factors to help make those stressors more manageable. For our students who drive, we sponsored the back of their parking passes with a visual reminder to stay sober behind the wheel, because if they feel different, they will drive different. We coordinated with Clay County Parks, the Army Corps of Engineers, and the Marina to implement the CETO Foundation's free resource campaign called Sober Skipper. We partnered with area businesses including Captain's Corner, Paradise Outfitters, Sandbar, Camp Branch Marina, and Clay County Parks and Recreation Office to distribute 600 wristbands and pledge cards that encouraged voters to designate a sober boat driver. Sober Skipper stencils were painted on all 8 boat ramps around Smithville Lake. This will ensure that all people who bring their boat and put it into the water see the Sober Skipper message. THC isomers like Delta 8 were being sold by retailers in the Smithville area. We purchased a couple of products and took them to a local lab to have them tested, and found that one of the 2 products had nearly 4% THC-9. After further inspection, when the Delta 8 sticker was removed from the product, it clearly showed a warning label of THC underneath. This information was passed on to local and county law enforcement, Midwest HIDA, local prosecutors, and the state agriculture and health departments. We created a report with information about THC isomers and sent it along with business names and addresses to county prosecutors and state HHS. Our county prosecutor and the neighboring county prosecutor came together for a press conference to announce Operation Delta Free Youth. As part of this operation, law enforcement in Smithville hand-delivered cease and desist letters to area businesses.
Good morning. My name is Daniel White, Clay County Prosecuting Attorney. I'm here with members of the Kansas City Police Department, members of Tri-County Prevention, and Platte County Prosecutor Eric Zahn in his office in regards to Operation Delta Free Youth.
In addition to this activity, we also hosted a Facebook Live webinar about THC isomer products featuring an organic chemist and a psychiatrist.
That is carbon 8 of the benzopyran numbering system. So that's why we get that Delta 8 nomenclature for this particular tetrahydrocannabinol. So let's move on to the Delta 9. So you can see the only difference between the structures and the line drawings is the location of that double bond. So if we move the double bond over one position, then we get Delta 9 THC. If we just move it one more position, we get delta 10. So you can see in the space filling drawings, there's not really a significant difference in the shape of each one of those structures. And because they have such similar structures, they're going to have very similar functions as well.
We were asked by several other coalitions to come and do trainings for them about marijuana, the THC isomer products, and Amendment 3, including the Missouri Crime Prevention Conference. We also work with our local alcohol and tobacco retailers each year to provide sticker and window cling warnings and education to retailers. We also thank them for being the first line of defense against selling to underage minors and publicly thank them when they successfully pass a law enforcement compliance check. We also work with the city to update their no smoking signs to more positive messaging that included vaping. Our school sector also updated their signs. Using local data, we know that times of celebration, like graduation, are times when students engage in risky behaviors. Annually, we put out banners and send letters to senior and 8th grade parents, reminding them to help their students celebrate sober. Other local data showed us that students were vulnerable to drug misuse when hanging out with friends at some of the remote and isolated locations around the lake. We worked with the Parks and Rec office to create a mobile selfie station that can be moved near where students are hanging out to encourage more traffic to these areas so they're not so isolated. The coalition also worked with churches in the area and local parent groups to host fifth quarter events after the home football games to address this local condition. We wanted to help host these alternative events to give students a fun and supervised activity to do. Not only does this activity prevent youth drug misuse on the night of the event, but when students see adults making such an effort to keep them safe, they grow up knowing that they can thrive with strong community support. The Box Fort Challenge is a way to help families spend quality time together, which is an important protective factor to develop resilient kids who know how to say no to drugs. In its second year, the Smithville 5K and Family Fun Run is the major fundraising event for the coalition. Money raised from this event helps us pay for activities that aren't covered by the DFC grant, including scholarships for seniors. Smithville CIA partners with sectors across our community and engages them in ongoing problem solving to prevent youth substance use and create resilient youth. Invite someone to join us at one of our Coffee with CIA events to recruit new coalition members.